Imagine welcoming a stranger into your home on New Year's Eve, only to discover their sinister intentions. Or being alone in your apartment, hearing your doorbell ring repeatedly with no one in sight. These unsettling scenarios are the focus of today's tales. Welcome to Horror Radio, where we delve into the most chilling stories to haunt your nights. The uninvited guest on New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve, and the Johnson family had decided to host a celebration at their suburban home. The air was crisp, with snow gently falling, creating a picturesque scene outside. Inside, the house was warm and inviting, adorned with candles and colorful lights. As the clock approached midnight, a soft knock echoed through the living room. Mr. Johnson approached the door, curiosity piqued. Upon opening it, he found a man standing on the porch, shivering in tattered clothing. "Good evening," the stranger began, his voice trembling. "My car broke down nearby, and I have nowhere to go in this cold. Could I possibly warm up here while I wait for assistance?" The Johnsons, known for their hospitality, welcomed the man inside. He introduced himself as David and took a seat by the roaring fireplace. Mrs. Johnson offered him a hot beverage, which he accepted gratefully. As the evening progressed, David shared stories of his life, but inconsistencies in his tales began to surface, raising subtle suspicions among the family members. Despite their unease, they chose to let him stay until morning, considering the harsh weather conditions. As the household retired for the night, young Emily Johnson was awakened by faint creaking noises. Peering from her bedroom, she noticed David stealthily moving through the hallway, opening doors and inspecting rooms. Fear gripped her as she tiptoed to her parents' room, gently shaking her father awake. Mr. Johnson, now alert, quietly descended the stairs to find David rummaging through drawers in the study. "What are you doing?" he demanded, his voice firm. David's demeanor shifted instantly. His previously friendly expression turned cold as he lunged at Mr. Johnson. A struggle ensued, the commotion rousing the rest of the family. Just as David seemed to gain the upper hand, Mrs. Johnson appeared with a heavy candlestick, striking him and causing him to collapse. The police arrived shortly after, summoned by a neighbor who had heard the disturbance. Investigations revealed that David was a wanted criminal, responsible for a series of home invasions in the area. The Johnsons, though shaken, were unharmed, but the incident left an indelible mark on their perception of kindness to strangers. The midnight doorbell. In a towering apartment complex, Sarah had planned a quiet New Year's Eve, preferring the solace of her 10th floor dwelling. She settled in with a selection of her favorite films, the city's distant celebrations providing a muted backdrop. As the hour neared midnight, the doorbell rang, its chimes startling in the stillness. Puzzled, Sarah approached the door, peering through the peephole. The dimly lit hallway appeared empty. Assuming it to be a prank, she returned to her movie. Moments later, the doorbell sounded again, more insistent this time. Anxiety gnawed at her as she checked the peephole once more. Still no one in sight. Her heart raced. She called out, "Who's there?" but received no response. The silence was deafening. Suddenly, a faint scratching noise emanated from the other side of the door, as if someone was tampering with the lock. Panic set in, and Sarah dialed 911, her voice trembling as she explained the situation. The operator advised her to ensure the door was locked and to remain on the line. Minutes felt like hours as she waited, every creak of the building amplifying her fear. Finally, the wail of sirens reached her ears, and a firm knock announced the arrival of the police. Officers conducted a thorough search of the premises and discovered a man attempting to flee via the emergency stairwell. In his possession were tools designed for picking locks. Under interrogation, he confessed to targeting Sarah's apartment, having observed her living alone for weeks. The realization that she had been under surveillance was a chilling revelation for Sarah. While grateful for the timely intervention, the experience shattered her sense of security, a stark reminder of the lurking dangers even in the perceived safety of one's home. Thank you for joining us on Horror Radio. If these stories sent shivers down your spine, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced something eerie on New Year's Eve? We'd love to hear your tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more spine-chilling stories. Stay safe And until next time, keep the lights on.